In March of 2020, Nielsen, which is what it sounds like to most people when a Midwesterner tries to say Nelson, estimated that their tracked households were seeing a 60% increase in online or streaming media consumption during the stay-at-home order. YouTube traffic increased so much that they defaulted their player to run at standard definition to save on bandwidth. That's what's going on here. You should see me in 5K. More people than ever are consuming video content online, so it may be tempting for a stage actor to try and transition into this ever-evolving medium. That's why we're going to take a look at how those skill sets compare right now. Hey, this is Derek, and I've been drawn poorly, and this is the channel for theater kids of all ages and the people who tolerate them. If that sounds like you, go ahead and hit the like and subscribe button now, just in case the global demand for online content actually breaks the internet before you get a chance to later. YouTube has hit the 2 billion active monthly user mark, TikTok is at over 800 million, and Vine is still dead. But wasn't that one fun while it lasted? My point is that online video is now a legitimate performance platform and not just a place for weirdness like this. But moving from one performance style to another can be difficult. No one wants to Michael Jordan it. We want to Bo Jackson it. Because I'm so old, you guys. But here are 4 quick tips on how to prepare for your online video debut. Tip 1. The back of the rafters are so much closer now. We all love to belt, and to strike a big pose so the people in the back row can see. In our own way, don't we all have a little Zero Mostel in us? That kind of big movement can work for TikTok, where you have a short amount of time to make a big impression, and dance moves or pantomime videos can quickly gain a large following. But YouTube is mostly about real people sharing their real lives, so even with wholly created content, there's an air of legitimacy at first, until it becomes clear that it's been produced. Most live action series on YouTube are usually seen as works of unfiction, existing within our world and involving some sort of audience participation. All this to say that for a sustained piece on YouTube, you'll want to rein it in a bit and use more naturalistic motions. Now this creates a paradox when placed alongside tip number 2. The camera drains your soul. Anyone who has ever recorded their voice on a microphone for the first time or tried to film themselves has encountered the phenomenon wherein their normal speech patterns sound like soliloquy and their face looks emptier than my bank account. While you want to come across as natural in your reactions and your activity, you also want to hit those marks with an added energy. Even if you're going into ASMR, whisper with passion. Think of how much harder you have to work to keep up the energy during a matinee performance. Do that every time you're on camera. And make sure you have decent equipment while you're at it, and I'll provide resources down in the description. Tip 3, experiment. There are 500 hours of footage uploaded to YouTube every minute. If your first video fails, it'll just wash away in a sea of unboxings and makeup tutorials. That's not sad. That's empowering. You have the freedom to fail. You have freedom to experiment until you find what works for you. And, even better, you have the power to delete it later. You are your own casting director on YouTube. So stretch out into new genres and types of characters you haven't played before. Gather your friends you never get to share a scene with, and make something that you can be proud of. And number 4, cut to the feeling. Shout out to the queen of tip number 4. The corollary to the above mentioned 500 hours of new YouTube uploads is that viewers have options if you don't grab them right away. So find the emotional beat that you want your video to hit, and hit it hard. Every YouTube video is like being in a scene study. You have a short amount of time to get your character and situation across. You're going to get some very harsh critiques. And the room just got done watching Tommy Wiseau roll around on the floor, so their nerves are shot anyway. That's a Disaster Artist reference, now available on Audible. Cheap plugs aside, this is an exciting time to be a creative of any kind. Your phone and an email address are your golden ticket to a world of pure imagination. Metaphorically, of course, there is no way Willy Wonka would allow cell phones into his factory. What happens in there is purely your word against his, and those Oompa Loompas' mouths are suddenly sealed when OSHA comes around. Sorry, got distracted. Anyway, thanks for watching. Let me know in the comments section if you want me to go in more depth on any of these topics. And be sure to share this video with the future TikTok stars in your life, because next time we're taking our close-up and looking at eye acting. Peace, and all good.